What's going on, everybody? It's Selna here, America's face of dating, and today we're going to be talking about, as you can see, 5 things that turn a boy into a man. And right away I want to open up with a quote. I heard this, I believe it's by Albert Einstein. He said some great things, but this one kind of stood out to me. And how it goes is, try not to become a man of success, but becoming a man of value. And this was one of the things that actually held me back from finding a quality girlfriend and even just a quality girl in general, when I was actually probably like, 0 to about like probably until like 21, 22 years old. It's because every time like I got rejected or a girl would just go cold on me, I would just be like, F this, man. Like, I got to really figure out a way to become massively successful. And that's what's going to make her come back. And I wasn't necessarily wrong about that. But the point that just made me really connect with a girl is building from just that ground level foundation, just ground zero, and starting back at ground zero and rock bottom, and building up your foundation from there and actually becoming a valuable man that's going to add value to people's lives. Because when you just become a man that's successful, those people are always going to come back, right? And I'll tell you guys a little story about that later in this video, about that. But they're always going to come back, but it's only because of your success. Versus from the start, where it's kind of like an equal give and take value, value trade off. It's like they're not really using you or using you for your success in some way. You're just adding simply value and letting people choose to come to you. And that's always the best quality you can get right there, is letting them come to you versus kind of trying to force them down and lock them down to a commitment, which held me back a lot back in the day and made me get rejected a lot. And so the first thing that turns a boy into a man is rejection, right? As you probably could guess, I was rejected a lot growing up. My parents, they went through a really hard divorce when I was super young. I believe I was 5 or 6 years old. I read about this in my book, Waking the Core of Man. But inside my book, man, like I talk about just they went through a really, really bad divorce, and we grew up in a community where families didn't really get divorced like that. And when my family got divorced, we actually it went so downhill that we had to file for bankruptcy too, and we became very, very poor. And so I didn't really eat a lot of great quality food growing up, and a lot of the outfits that I would have were just probably, I was basically outgrown them. But we were just so poor that we really couldn't afford getting me new outfits or new shoes or really just quality food in general. And so when I was growing up, I got bullied a lot just because of the fact that my outfits were too small or didn't have a lot of money. I was malnourished, so I was super skinny. And so that was always just a struggle growing up. If you hear my dogs barking in the background, apparently they're having an epic dog battle right now. But especially with girls, when I was growing up, especially with girls, they would reject me. It's because when I was growing up, I really lacked that connection with somebody. And so when I lacked that connection, what would happen is that I would chase more, and I would try to overcompensate more when a girl would give me attention in some way, right? A girl would give me attention, and I would just latch onto that and cling onto that, and I would try to grip it so hard and overcompensate for my insecurities and chase more, to the point where she eventually ghosted me. And then all these rejections just ended up adding up over time. And it really made me stronger mentally, and it got me to the point where it's like, oh, I can pass like any test. Like, oh, girl said that, oh, I've seen that before. Boom, a man appears, right? So number two, we have isolation. And this is one of my favorite topics. I believe every man should isolate himself at least 10 minutes a day without his phone, and just let him think and sit in his own thoughts. But it's funny because when I was younger, I was rejected a lot, and I was very isolated growing up. I didn't have any friends and didn't have any girlfriends, and so I was pretty much just by myself. And I was just trying to latch on to anybody, right? Be friends with anybody and get a girlfriend and get any girlfriend, right? And when I was trying to do that, I got nothing. But after I really became a man of value, and I started adding value to the world, and my relationship's amazing nowadays. My income has risen because of it. My social medias have just exploded and went crazy online, over 1 million followers. Suddenly all those people want to come back and be in my life again. That's not coincidence, right? And like I said earlier, it's just because they want to be a part of my success. But I'm just like, hey, like, you guys weren't here for the climb, so you're not going to be here for the success. But isolation helps a man understand who he currently is and also who he needs to be, right? So when I was very, very lonely growing up, I understood who I was. I was very clingy. I was very attached, trying to get something, versus who I needed to be was a man that was the opposite, a man that provided value to other people. Let's move on to number three. Number three, we have challenges. And this one is a big one because it could simply be just a girl testing you, right? And a girl throwing a test at you. And if you don't know how to pass a girl's test yet, or she's saying something to you and you don't know how to respond, you need to go watch all the videos on my channel right here. I have a playlist literally about testing or even texting, and you got to go watch that if you want to get really good at handling those comebacks and handling how a girl will talk to you and how to really handle how to come back to that. I guess you could say, and become fucking smooth as fuck, man. But also, how does a man handle the challenges in life? There's this great quote. It says, "Circumstance only reveals a man to himself." Right? And it's like when you get hit with a circumstance from life, how do you handle that? Do you freak out, or do you belly up to the table and you fucking handle that like a man would? Right? Challenges always introduce a man to himself, and it teaches you really so much about yourself, because how you handle those challenges says so much about you. If you freak out, probably says that you have insecurities and you have low confidence in yourself, right? And it's like almost like it could be as simple as like a girl going cold on you, right? If you still have girls going cold on you and you don't know how to text girls and you're not smooth at it, dude, you just book a call in the link in the description below. Let's get you my program. Let's get that fixed, because you should not be in your mid 20s, and especially even past that, still struggling with this stuff, man. So if you guys are still struggling with knowing how to text a girl and be smooth and get her asking you on the date, just book a call and let's get you in the program. Like, I don't even know why you're still waiting. But especially if you're still relying on pickup lines too, and dating apps, it's just, I can't believe, like, people that use dating apps are just too scared to do it in person. Like, come on, we'll get you in person, and you'll be smooth talking to these girls, and they're gonna be chasing you, and they're gonna be blowing up your phone and asking for you to take them on a date, and they're gonna be hot chicks that turn heads when you walk into the bar, or just take her out to dinner. Guys are gonna be like, how the fuck did that guy get? It's gonna be just like that. So number 4, we have heartbreak. I really don't believe that a boy is a man until he's experienced his first heartbreak, right? The guys that have had their high school sweethearts, I don't believe that that guy is a man. He might get older and grow older as he married the girl, but that's just not a man to me. A man has experienced his first heartbreak, right? There's nothing like I write about literally in my book, there's nothing like thinking that you're going to marry a chick and you're dating her for a year and you're like, wow, dude, like, I can really marry this chick. And then one day you find out she's cheating on you, and you walk in on her in bed with your best friend, right? She literally answered the door, wrapped up in in the bed sheet, and dude's back there in the bed after she just got D'd down. There's nothing like that. Nothing like discovering a girl that you think you're going to marry, breaking your heart and sleeping with your best friend. There's just nothing like it. It really makes you see a lot of truths. It makes you see so many truths about yourself, so many truths about women, and you start to understand so much more after your first heartbreak. And I really just don't think that a man that hasn't experienced his first heartbreak can really call himself a man. So, and I just believe that to be true wholeheartedly. Number 5, last one, very simple, but a man that bets on himself and takes action. Boys hesitate when men move in spite of fear. Right? It takes a lot when you're about to make a big investment into something. Maybe it's a program. Maybe it's my program. Maybe it's just going to the casino and putting 100 on black. It takes a lot of fucking balls to just belly up to the table and make that investment happen and actually take that risk, right? Because hesitation kills more people, literally statistically, than failure ever does, right? And boys are always like, I'll do it next time, or I'll wait, I'll do it next time. Those are the words that kill every single man more than failure ever would. So, be a man that takes action in spite of fear. Don't be the man that hesitates. Be the man that goes first when everyone wants to go last, and goes last when everyone wants to go first. So, I'm Selna Kim, America's face of dating. Make sure you like, subscribe, check out all the other videos in my channel about dating, attraction, lifestyle in general, and I will see you guys in your sexy faces next time.